quality handmade soaps, where handmade is the best made. Proudly making soap for over 5 years, Quality Handmade Soap sets the standard in both quality and safe ingredients. Perfect for the holiday season. I'm telling you right now, you see that Black Rose soap, I got that in my shower, and man, let me tell you what, your husband or wife will love it. Use promo code VHHN2022 to get 15% off your first purchase. Link is in the description box. Let's go.
You know, man, I feel like technology is allowed us to see more, but by the same token, I can't sit here and act like it's new. This is the same thing our mothers and grandmothers was warning us about when we left the house. You know what I mean? So I feel like really it's a lot of the same. This is the same fight that our great grandparents, our grandparents, our parents, now we have we're handing this fight on to our children. So I can't say I feel like it's new, but I do feel like technology has made it easier to showcase exactly what's going on and how much of it is going on. And the hope is that we'll ultimately be able to help ourselves. I don't believe that relying on politicians, be they Democrat or Republican, is going to help our situation one way or another. So while I think the debates are going to be interesting, I don't know that either one of them has a legitimate contract with Black America in terms of what they're going to do to stop what's going on. So I think it's important to vote. And I think if we all voted, and I do mean everybody, we could absolutely change it because we have that level of voting power. But we got to focus our attention on the city councilman, the mayor, the judges, the senators, the congressmen. We got to focus our attention on the people who actually make the decisions in our lives and stop arguing back and forth about the president, who really is only the person who signs the bills that come across his or her desk, from Senate and Congress. Our problem is with the way these judges break apart our Black families. Our problem is the way these police department allocate funds to police our communities, but don't allocate funds for the Boys and Girls Clubs and for the after school programs to uplift the people in our community. So our problem is around how funds are allocated, and people are scared to be in the census when the census, details how we put these funds out. So for me, you got to get involved in your local. You got to go down to the school where your kids are. You got to go to the city council meeting. What we can't do is be like, I voted for ballot, my work here is done. That ain't even gonna get it. Not even close.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. With that being said, you said contract with America. Did you see Ice Cube and him talking about pretty much his plan, his contract? He has a website and everything. He also said that both presidential candidates reached out to him. Did you hear him at all going in?
I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's your perspective on him going in like that? How you feel about that?
Look, I got a lot of respect for Cube. What are we gonna say? He's not wrong. Right. I'm glad they reached out to him, but I also feel like at the end of the day, the people who need the help are the Black ladies in the gun violence communities who've been trying to save kids for the last 25 years. Ain't nobody trying to help them, and they're the ones that need the help. So when I look at what's really going on, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Ice Cube. At the end of the day, our job is to hopefully try and shine a light on these things as artists. But when it comes to the actual work being done, those are Black people in our communities that can't get nobody to reach out to them, can't get nobody to help them allocate funding. So I'd be more impressed if they were reaching out to the people in Chicago, to the people who are actually in the community, who are actually doing the work. Just stop handing me experts who have never been in prison, who tell me what their opinion is about prison reform. You want to reform the prison, go talk to the prisoners. That's what has to happen. We have to stop pretending that these people, because they made a mistake at this point in their life, don't have anything else to contribute to community. That's just racism. plain and simple, right? Same thing we've always been doing. You get caught up in something when you're young and we act like you don't have the ability to change, you don't have the ability to transform. That's a pipeline to make us slaves. It's peonage, the black code. It's the same things that were always being done. So I hear those things, but my question is going to be, are you going to fund those programs? Are you going to do those things long term? Or are you just going to call and pay lip service to it because Ice Cube said something on, or someone like me said something? I want to see what you're really going to do long term, because lip service I've seen before.
Were you offended when Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders sat down with Cardi B?
I'm not going to say I was offended, but I think it speaks to exactly what the issue is. And I don't care if you want to sit down with Cardi B, but I also know, just like you know, that that's not the person in the community doing the work in any way, shape, or form. So that's great, I guess, if you want to get and be a part of a news story, but that's not really help. That's not really you trying to make an effective change in the community. That's placating. That's pandering. So fine, you pandered to Cardi B. Great. I don't care. I'm not even upset enough to get mad about that. I really think it's sad that you think I'm so ignorant that I would fall for that.
Wow.
What do you think about, I guess I can call them some of your Hollywood cohorts that get on social media and tell people that are looking at their phone and looking at these people, vote for Biden, let's just get Trump out, but don't give any answer to what's next after that, seemingly just trying to manipulate the black vote, so to speak, into voting for this person, and without saying it, promising salvation, so to speak, to where if we get this evil entity out, everything will be okay, like we weren't being murdered, like you said, on our grandparents, our great-grandparents, and beyond.
I mean, I would ask those people when Obama was president and plenty of Hollywood celebrities were out stumping for, Mr. Obama, former President Obama. I think we can all agree that the black community didn't see any substantial change in that. An important thing did happen in that suddenly young black kids knew they could become president because it had happened. And I thought that was extraordinarily important, and I certainly support it. But by the same token, we already know that these two parties are two sides of the same coin. We may as well be talking about Coke and Pepsi. All right, you go down to the local bodega, there's two coolers there. One is Coke, one is Pepsi. It don't matter how many different brands is in there. You reach into a Coke cooler or a Pepsi cooler. That's how you get a cold drink. So what are we really talking about? You're trying to tell me these two parties have switched positions. There was a time black people were hardcore supporters of the Republican. As a time when we flipped to the Democrats. I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, where the only coup d'etat in American history happened, where there was a fusion government of blacks and whites working together to actually make a better community for all of us. But those black folks got lynched, killed, beheaded, their heads put on stakes around town. And they don't teach that history in these schools. What do they teach? Walter Parsley is where my daughter is in school right now. Parsley was one of the main leaders of the atrocity that we're talking about. So I hear these things. I appreciate these things. But I think we have to stop talking to people like they're stupid. And being a celebrity doesn't give you some special dispensation to try and tell people how they should spend their time. Yeah. I think you might want to listen, and you might want to be a lot more respectful. And I do believe that obviously Trump is 45, as I call him, is a problem. But we've had 45 presidents and 44 of them have been racist. So what are we talking about?
Yeah.